Welcome, everybody, to the N Word for Nerd podcast. Also, if you guys notice, we have different colors. Jaron gets thrown off about that because he likes consistency, and I like to just be all over the place. Every time you watch it, I want different colors, different logos. Submit your different logos so we can put it up in the corner just to
No
bother
consistency,
them.
no through line, nothing. Everything changes every single day.
Right. Exactly. No, all jokes aside, how are you guys doing today? Jaron, what's going on, man?
Man, it's I'm doing good. My day started at like 4 this morning, so I just finished a tea, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna be awake by the end of this.
Like a tea, or like you got like warm tea that like you were
Probably
trying to,
alcohol.
No, Irish breakfast, black tea with a whole lot of caffeine in it, ready to go.
Gotcha.
And some
all right, okay. All right, Jason, fresh off the heels of the Con of Dragons. How's it going, my man?
I survived. I'm here
How
to live another day.
is the corona? Is it good?
Well, everybody was either vaxxed or double tested, so it was only moderate.
It was moderate corona.
Good. I'm glad you only got half.
All the alcohol killed it.
It was the beta variant.
There you go. Well, hopefully you guys were doing like COVID and Delta variant shots. Like, oh, hey, guys.
They did have shots named after the variants. It was great.
Good for them.
Absolutely.
Good for only the finest at Dragon Con.
It was like a Delta variant, and then it was a like a Loki variant. And there's all the variants.
All the variants are out there this year.
Would you like to share what was your best time from the event? Best moment, I guess.
Not publicly.
Okay,
no, I did not get laid, unfortunately.
I'll say you look groomed and clean. I mean, I figured
I'm
you
just
saw
saying, if Ginny Weasley, Bonnie Wright ever watched the show, I'm in love with you. Please marry me. That's all I can say.
One day we'll have a conversation about how the movies nerfed like Ginny Weasley as a character compared to the books. One day.
They nerfed all the characters as compared to the book. They nerfed Neville. They nerfed Dobby for crying out loud.
I feel like Dobby gave a lot of strength to. Like he was doing real strengthy stuff that was like, because people were like, "Hey, why don't you use Dobby just to kill Voldemort? Like he could like snap his finger and do it." But anyway, I think it's like the Eagles conversation. Anyway,
I'm glad they got rid of that spew storyline. Like, so boring. When I was
that was artists, mirroring. He's like, I am such a good person. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Let's see how that turned out for her. Well, we got all the heavy lifting out the way. It's time to have more fun than we normally have here. And we just started a new segment called Then and Now. So basically in this segment, and we're going to bring up movies, and then we're going to talk about if it was better then when we first saw them, or did the movie age better? And that's what we're going to talk about. And it's the sequel edition.
All the answers are going to be no.
I had to do some writing on this. Like I had to make some notes.
Yes. So first things first, of the sequel edition of Then and Now, The Matrix Reloaded. Was it better then or is it better now? Let's start with you, Jaron.
All right. I said I fell on now. This one's better now. This one aged better than I think. It had a very mixed reaction when it came out because it deviated a lot from the direction the original was going. I think things that are in its favor. We got to see Morpheus do some work.
He did some great work.
Yeah. More Agent Smiths. I mean, bam. Let's get some fucking. You like Agent Smith? How about a lot of them? Those creepy twins, man.
Oh, the ghost twins.
Woo. Yeah,
I don't get down with white people with dreads, but they were
right. And the fact that it still impresses me to this day that they constructed that chunk of highway for this fucking movie. It was so
as a
visual effects guy, I'm like, God damn, you guys use some money. They took that money and they put it right into the movie. Things against it, the discount agents. I get that you were like hiding Smith, and it was like a comeback type thing, but those guys were goof. And the weird Frenchman thing, I thought they could have just done without all of it, like the orgasm pie or whatever the fuck he was eating. But yeah, no. I think people had a very, very, very entrenched expectation as to what we were going to see in the second one. 2-3 years out from the first one, and this one had such a deviation from where they started this story that I think it shook people. But looking back at it now, I think that I can appreciate it better now for the story that the direction it went than I did then when I was just like, I just want more of the first one. What's this Jesus bullshit?
All right. Jason, then or now? Matrix Reloaded.
Now, most certainly, going back to it, it's much more enjoyable because I'm no longer an angsty teenager.
That's it. It's 100% it. All the words I just said, you just summed up in one sentence.
Just for the highway scene alone, the amount of technical difficulty that was to pull it off by itself, makes it, should put it up there just by itself. The fact that you see it in the fucking movie, it's fucking awesome. It's also,
Right.
you know, it's I just have a much better appreciation for it now, and especially once you realize that, you know, these Matrix movies were kind of like a trans allegory for the Wachowski sisters. You know, you get a little bit of subtext to it that I didn't understand when I was 18 years old. You know, it makes it a little bit more palatable when they start, you know, talking about all this religious bullshit. So,
yeah, I'm with you. I'm definitely with you. Matrix Reloaded better now than it was back then. Actually, recently just watched it. That's what made me think of it. And yeah, there you go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. Jason, better then or better now?
Better than.
I did this just for you. Just for you.
That's I will die on the hill that fucking Secret of the Ooze is the best fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie ever. But I will also die on that same hill and like, that movie is fucking terrible.
Best live action. Best live action.
Like live action, right. Because the TMNT is the best one ever.
Yeah, 2007, yeah.
Dude, I loved when fucking Vanilla Ice was in I don't think I will have that same amount of pleasure now. Super Shredder is stupid. Tokar and Razor are dumb, but it's Ernie. What's Ernie Razor Jr.? Just he makes it. It's better than though.
Kino, dude.
Oh man. All right. So your vote is what for then?
Yeah.
Okay, Jaron.
I also put then. My notes were Super Shredder was awesome. So
when I was in second grade, it was totally awesome.
Yeah. But Toka and Razor were like I was like really hoping for Bebop and Rocksteady, and they were like, well, we'll get close. I was like, that's some bullshit, but all right. It went way too PG. They didn't take their weapons out once in it. Fucking Michelangelo's fighting with sausages. I mean, those Leo swords never got unsheathed.
Dude, in England, they had to take. That's why they took out all the stuff, because all that stuff is illegal in England. So they took out all the nunchucks and the swords and stuff.
You know, they named it different over there too, right?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah.
In Ireland.
Like a lot of that stuff, like especially in this movie, was because of the English audience and how they could portray weapons. And also here in America too.
America, there were tons of American moms going, but there's violence.
Yeah, like G.I. Joes can shoot guns, but far be it for an anamorphic turtle to swing a fucking nunchuck.
They're lasers, so. And then my other note was Kino is cool.
Pizza delivery guy who knows kung fu. Who gives a fuck?
Awesome,
it's New York, in the 80s.
He did more fighting than the fucking turtles did.
I'm gonna say that I think it's better now because I hated it when I was younger.
Really?
I hated part two. Part two was so trash to me when I was younger. Now, granted, I hated Vanilla Ice, and I was a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. So I was disappointed there was no Bebop and Rocksteady. I did rock with Super Shredder. Super Shredder was tight.
Was dope. Yep.
But
killed himself.
Even now, I feel like it holds up better now for me because even with all the stuff you said is right about it being a terrible movie, all the stuff you said is right about not using the weapons and all that, it actually is way funner because now I look at it and go, oh, this was made for kids. Like this wasn't made for when I was watching it and I was like taking karate serious and this was made in the same arc or the same feel of the cartoon that was running at the time. The cartoon, they pulled out their weapons and they killed mouses and stuff because they were like robots. But when it came to humans, they never did anything with those weapons with humans. So even all the stunts in there too and rubber suits, it's dope as hell now compared to like you will never see that again in movies.
Yeah, it'll be completely
You'll never see that again in movies ever. Just rubber suited it out and they're kicking ass like that. And granted, I know part two did not have Jim Henson back for the facials and all that, and you can tell
clearly.
But for me, again, I think it's a nostalgia of having the direct, real effects and knowing that it's people in that suit doing all this crazy,
Sweating their asses off.
over the top, right? Over the top shit. To me, like as a guy who understands movies a lot better now, I enjoy it way more now, knowing that they had a bunch of corporatism in it that fucked up the movie, and they still made this movie. Because the reason why I'll say I enjoy it more now, because part 3 is just
A dumpster
I
fire.
could puke. I almost wanted to puke right now as I said it. Part 3, what happens is when you don't make a good movie, and all the stuff I just mentioned doesn't really matter at all either. So that's why I gave it. I think it's better now,
And it's
knowing how
supposed
the
to be
series
Turtles in
ended.
Time, which is the best arcade game of all time.
It is.
You fucked it up.
It is. It is. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time, the movie, the third one, it's the crappiest of the crappiest. And it's funny because you've noticed like they kind of try to do like a Back to the Future type of thing. Like the first two were, and then the third one's like, oh yeah, let's go back in time and do this. And yeah, not good at all. All right, so, but I will say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 I enjoy now more than I did back then. Batman Returns, Jaren, then or now?
For me, Batman Returns is way better now. I watched it actually probably about 3 or 4 months ago. It was on HBO Max or something. But as a kid, I missed, I don't know, 90% of the subtext going throughout that fucking movie. And I was just like, yay, Batman. And there's a girl. And who the fuck is this Max Shrek guy? And that was and Danny DeVito. And that was it. And this one on the rewatch, I just caught like all of the exceptionally witty like subtext and the way they delivered it and stuff. And I mean, I genuinely appreciated what's his face, Max Shrek. I'm blanking on
Christopher
it.
Walken.
There it is, Walken. I appreciated Walken's performance a lot more. I mean, basically just gothic Donald Trump, but you know, and the Catwoman thing. It's like when you're a kid and your ability to like just kind of just like shoulder trauma and kind of just go, it's fine. Like, man, like watching it now with the understanding of all this shit that went down with her, I'm like, my God, that's a really dark direction to take this movie they're marketing to children that are in Happy Meal toys and shit. But hey, fucking go for it. Tim Burton.
That's why Tim Burton got fired, because he was like, fuck it, this is going to be the darkest shit ever.
And then they overcorrected so hard and they put that retard, idiot Joel Schumacher into it. My bad. Sorry with the R word. Don't cancel me.
No hard R's, guys.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Right. Jason, better then or better now?
It still holds up now. I would say that the Tim Burton sort of aesthetic kind of like has, waned in its years past, but dude, that movie is just so good. I watched it about a year ago. It's still just so good. Like, and as I said, it's the reason why Tim Burton got fired from it, because it is dark as fuck. It's like, this is not a kid's movie. I mean, I guess we could go see, I saw it as a kid, but like there's so much going on that you're like, dude, this is kind of like, this is dark. This shit like is violent. Dudes are getting blown up and shot and their faces bitten off and all sorts.
Did you, as a kid, sleep through the mayoral race? Because I feel like I did. I don't remember that. Like watching it back as an adult, I'm like, there's a whole big fucking thing going on here, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a whole big fucking thing going on there. I mean, like,
I don't remember that at all.
Like, yeah, I liked it then. I still like it now. It's just like the sets, the costume designs. Like it took Batman into the new era of actually being someone that is respectable for being a dark and gritty character. I mean, you may say that kind of ruined a character because we can't get past that and we have to make everything so dour and sad. But in this one, there was still an amount of joyful whimsy to it because of that Tim Burton style of making that dark and angsty, but still sort of whimsical sort of thing. And like they set it in Christmas, and it's still set, it holds up today.
It's fishy swassa. It's supposed to be cold.
Yeah, it's good. It's so good.
I will say for me, Batman Returns was better then, because when I'm older and realize that Billy D. Williams is supposed to be Two-Face, it just disheartens my soul that he didn't get to make that part 3. So for that reason alone, it was better back then that I didn't know that. All right,
Superman, great Two-Face too, man.
I know, right? Exactly. Superman 2, better then or better now? Let's start with Jaren because we know he hates it. Go ahead, Superman 2, better than or better now?
Never seen it. Was that the one he got drunk in?
No, that's Superman 3.
All right, I haven't seen it then.
So it's never been good to Jaren. All right, Jason, better than or better now?
Better than. Yeah, it's because Superman 2 came out like 1980. Like a lot of the effects don't really hold up. I mean, like Christopher Reeves is still my Superman. Like he's like the best portrayal of Superman.
Animated Superman is the best one.
He's the best live action animated portrayal of Superman thus far. Even though I love me some Henry Cavill because he's a nerd.
Okay.
But like, yeah, that shit doesn't hold up. But it also depends on which cut we're talking about. We're talking about the Donna cut.
No, it still doesn't. In the theater, regular, no Donna
that
cut.
one doesn't hold up at all.
Yeah, definitely better than because it is really, really as Jaren goes, he doesn't like goofy stuff. Goof. Yes, it's very, very goof. And hey, look out for Superman and Lois, Tyler Hickinson, man. He's a good Superman, man. I dig him.
I've heard
not necessarily Christopher Reeves, but he's climbing up every episode I watch him. He's really good. Last but not least, Ghostbusters 2, better than or better now? Jaren, let's lead you off with that one.
That movie's trash. I love Ghostbusters wrongly. I don't know if you can see, there's a proton pack right there. You probably can't see it, but there is one. There's a flight suit right there, full adult body one. I love Ghostbusters. It's up there with Back to the Future as one of my favorite movies of all time. It's in a three-way tie with Iron Man 1. Ghostbusters 2.
Hold on. Repeat that again. That Ghostbusters in the three-way. What were the movies is the tie with?
For my number one movies of all time, I thought about this long and hard. It's a three-way tie for number one with Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, and the first Iron Man. Because I had to bring something from the modern era in. Because you can't just be stuck in the past. You got to grow. Cinema grows.
Iron Man gets that high for you?
You got absolutely. The first one, without question.
Iron Man that make
Iron Man 2 is better.
You said that to make you mad. Just to get you to look on your face.
I'm blown away about that. Like, so then your eyes, Iron Man's the best Marvel movie ever made. Then,
I mean, if he's putting his top one, or that would make sense.
Iron Man 1.
But I feel like you've never. Okay. That's another discussion for another day. All right, go ahead.
Okay,
sorry,
yeah,
we're talking
about Ghostbusters 2.
I will defend that to the fucking grave. Ghostbusters 2 can be boiled down to the courtroom scene and the montage, and the rest of it is not worth looking at. Although them getting hassled by children at the very beginning is pretty funny, but it doesn't make any sense. I get that we live in a world now with alternative facts, but not back in 1989. Shit went down in New York and people pretend like they didn't see it. So that's some dumb shit. No, I just it wasn't good then. It's not any better now. But every now and again I get a little nostalgic and I'll go on YouTube and I'll be like, Ghostbusters courtroom scene. Ghostbusters 2 courtroom scene.
That shit is so awesome.
It is great. It's great. The judge was firing on all cylinders. He was such a douche. The Scolari brothers were phenomenal.
It's the Scolari brothers.
Louis Tully being like a probate, he was an accountant. He was going to night school for law. Yeah. Peter Venkman's back and forth with the prosecutor. Like, can you tell us why you and your compatriots decided to dig a very big hole in First Avenue, and him just looking at her and going, well, there's so many holes in First Avenue, we really didn't think anyone would notice. It's like shit like that. I mean, the courtroom scene is amazing. And the montage after it. I loved the idea where you actually got to see Ray using the ecto goggles to see a ghost that wasn't visible to everybody else. Like the guy that was running around, he was the jogger. Everybody was moving like they were getting jostled by a spirit but couldn't see him. But Ray was watching him with the ecto goggles and then timed it when Venkman hit the trap. I mean, it's phenomenal. Yeah. But then you have the fucking Statue of Liberty. Then you have the fucking painting that it's stupid. You have, the slime shell around the museum, the Oscar. Why wasn't that Venkman's? I mean, just. The only other good thing that came out of it was Ray's occult bookstore, and that's because they call it back in the new Ghostbusters. That's it. Yeah. So Better then because I approached it with a childlike wonder, and now I just see it for the trash it is.
All right, Jason, better then, better now. Ghostbusters 2.
Better now. Ghostbusters 2 is better than the last Ghostbusters they had out. It will probably be better than the next Ghostbusters that comes out. I'm sorry, it probably will be, even though it's what's his face? It's his son's directing.
Ivan Reitman's son, Jason Reitman.
Yeah, but it's got kids in it. It's and that's sequel
And Paul
101.
Rudd.
Okay, Paul Rudd can't be great in everything. He's gonna have to fail once.
He did in Best Friends.
Halloween 5.
Yeah,
but
Wanderlust.
I know Jaren's gonna not like this, and I'm okay with that. Ghostbusters 2 is my favorite Ghostbusters movie.
What is wrong with you, Jason?
And there's one reason for it. Bobby Brown.
Hey, that was you took. Damn it! I was gonna say better now because back then when Bobby Brown actually was
Bobby
like,
Brown,
the dopest dude on the planet.
Yeah, was the dopest dude. And you know what? All you people, it was Whitney that got him hooked, not the other way around.
Facts.
You call the Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's who you call Ghostbusters.
But also, fun fact, I didn't know the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon show, took place between Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2.
So good.
Yeah, great show.
And they still didn't know it was Ghost in Ghostbusters 2. Yes, I'm gonna say better now because again, all the things you just talked about, all the more adult humor, all the silliness in it, like it's really fun now. Back then it was disappointing because I watched it and was like, this don't feel the same. But now it's like, oh, now I know it's not the same. I'm like, oh yeah, this is really enjoyable when I just enjoy it and take it as what it is. Is there some bad stuff in it? Yeah, but at the end of the day, also too, I mean, anytime the movie starts off and Winston's already part of the team, you have my ticket to say it's cool. So again, I mean, Bobby Brown, Winston could all make it better now for me than back then.
They had twice as many black people in the first one.
Right, and more screen time for those black people as well.
Ray Parker Jr. is he?
He's not in the movie.
He's either. Oh, Bobby Brown. When he asked for the proton pack, he's like, and Ray's like, I'll give it to you, and then he goes like, it's not a toy. He's like, oh, all right, okay.
I know it's gonna be blasphemous with Jaren, but Bobby Brown had the better song out of the two songs. I'm sorry.
Awesome.
I like who you want to call. That's cool and all, but Bobby Brown.
I mean, I'll say this: you can have your completely incorrect opinion. There is one song of the two movies that's played to this day at every Halloween get together, and everybody knows it. And it's not the Bobby Brown one.
It's Huey Lewis in the News. I want a new drug. That's what's being played.
There's one Ghostbuster theme
one
that's played.
Ghostbusters in it. That's why. And the other one is just a dope song.
No, Bobby Brown. That Bobby Brown. It's Bobby Brown that does the Ghostbuster theme in the second one, right?
Yeah, but it's like
Ghostbusters.
No, that's not the song. That's not the song. That's a different song.
That's the one that's in the.
I guess we're gonna
have to take control.
You got. If it's
that song is so dope, bro. Come on, man.
It's great. It's so great.
Oh, that's a good song, but that's not. Yeah, that's not a theme. That's not a theme song.
Shut the fuck up, Jared.
Now we got to figure out who sang the Ghostbusters 2 theme song, the one where they actually say Ghostbusters in it. I thought that was him too.
My comment was that Bobby Brown had the better song compared to the Ghostbusters song. That's the other reason why I'm taking 2.
It wasn't a Ghostbusters
song.
It wasn't a Ghostbusters song.
It was on the soundtrack.
Yes.
It's a song on the soundtrack. Anyway, Old Town Road is going to be on the Shang-Chi soundtrack because they sung it for 3 seconds in a karaoke bar. It doesn't mean it's the song of the movie.
No, he actually raps about Ghostbusters in his rap in that song.
He talks about Vigo.
Too hot to cold, something like
Master Evil. Go to Battle of Boys. I don't think so. Oh.
Yeah, like he raps about the Ghostbusters.
You know what?
Jaren, we gotta get you back on that, man. We're
gonna
do a segment where we make them listen to that song.
All of them say it's Bobby Brown. All of them say it's Bobby Brown. So maybe he did too.
Maybe he did too,
but yeah, I guess we're gonna have to make it.
It's the rap during the montage, which is the same at the same point that Ray Parker Jr. did. His song was in the first one was during the montage, where they're like getting together and solving ghost problems and shit, but they're doing it real fast.
Ray Parker is
what a montage does
in part 1. Ray Parker didn't get the best song in part 1. For the best song in part 1 is the joint where Bowser and all that's free, and the Keymaster and all the ghosts are flying around. It's that
It's
creepy
Bowser.
ass song that plays. Like it's like,
The-
it's like a real creepy, yeah.
That one?
No, not that one. It's like a different song that goes on. Why you're the Ghostbusters guy, you should know this, but it's the part where all the ghosts get unleashed, and it's like this. It's like the dude just keeps repeating this one word over and over again, but it's a creepy ass vibe to it. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, they're like, it's like,
but
free.
That's the best song on that song. That's the best song on that in that movie.
Free. Dun,
Yeah,
dun,
that's the best
dun,
song
you
on
believe
the
it's
whole
magic. Yeah, that one. All right.
That's the best song on the part.
No, it's not.
He ain't got the best song on his own movie.
Shut your whore mouth. That's not the best song. That's some 80s fucking side pocket bullshit, and you know it.
Look, I'm just keeping it 100, bro. Oh, come on. And who you gonna call like some 80s side pocket bullshit?
Yeah.
At least had a
Who you
guitar
gonna
in it.
call?
Ghostbusters.
Video. We can pull up that video. That video's straight 80s.
Oh, 100, yeah.
His only hit song of the
The only thing that's ever out neoned Joel Schumacher is that fucking music video.
yeah.
Who you gonna call? He pulls
I
up.
love that they just have random ass like 80s celebrities in there just singing it too. It's like, I'm Chevy Chase. You know me.
Right. It's with them walking down the street with the Ghostbusters.
Right, which they brought into the real Ghostbusters, which I thought was great.
They did bring it into the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That was so terrible. And it's like they're not even on beat walking with them. It's
No,
so
they
bad.
were not.
And that's why Bill Murray just gives up and was like, F it, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, he's just gonna
He just gives up the whole franchise. He's like, fuck this shit.
yeah, just because that one dance. He's like, fuck it. Never again.
All right, guys. It is that time of the show where we wrap it up and say thank everybody for listening to the N Word for Nerd podcast. I know we did another long one here, but hopefully you enjoyed what you were given and hearing. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe at Headcanon Circus, where you can get updated and notified if you hit the bell. And you know when we drop everything from music to nerd podcasts to all the great stuff that we want to talk about and do. Eventually, we're going to get Jaron to, talk about his love of why Ghostbusters 1 and Back to the Future 1 and Iron Man 1 are the best movies he's ever seen before. And he'll fight you over it with a knife.
Yes.
Obviously,
no, I'm Irish. I'll punch you in the throat.
There you go. There you go.
Make fun of where you look.
Right. Yeah.
What you're wearing.
With all that being said, again, you can check us out on all listening podcast places from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Anchor FM. We are everywhere. So please join us and then comment. Tell us what you think. Maybe we are completely off on our take. Maybe me and Jason just didn't understand Shang-Chi and and Jaren's completely right because he got it and we didn't because he saw it 3 times and we didn't. Maybe you like Mortal Kombat more than we did, or you hated it and said it was too small and too escalated and went too quick. And maybe you just hate Star Wars and you know what? You're going to take Jaren's rating of a 1 as the gospel and continue to roll with it and ignore that series altogether. Wherever it is, just comment, let us know, and we will read your comments on the show and we'll respond to it and tell you why you're wrong. Probably because you're probably wrong in offending one of us.
Because you're probably really just Jared in the comments. Let's just be honest.
Like 6 extra accounts just for this.
I like that guy with the hat. He's keeping it real.
Jared's my favorite. He is so great. I love
I always
him.
misspell my name so that nobody suspects me.
Right.
Jaden is my favorite.
I would love to have sex with him.
All the accounts just have an egg on there. All right. So with all that being said, guys, as always, it's a pleasure. Jaron, any closing words?
Yeah, if you're a fellow Star Wars hater, comment your favorite Star Trek episode and we'll talk about it in the comments. Smash that bell. It's sacrifice. Yeah, whatever you got to do for the algorithm gods, sacrifice. So
and Jason, last comment.
Yeah, if you're a Star Wars lover, also comment your favorite Star Trek episode as well. We'll talk about it. But either way, be kind to one another, be considerate, tip your servers at least 20%.